Cowboys Nation and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you, and they're a little therapeutic. As we had week number 2 heading into our game against Las Vegas. 1, we're not going to have Mozzie Smith going. He had an allergic reaction at practice, so they're keeping him home, and they'll evaluate further as the weekend goes through. Prayers to him, because after the first game, he was actually looking up. But he has been, he has somebody on the squad now that can help alleviate him not being there, as we had traded with the Giants for, Jordan Phillips. 6'6", 341. He'll help shore up that nose tackle spot. Aside from trading with the Giants to get him and spending money to get Carl Lawson, I find it funny that the Cowboys, instead of drafting players at these positions, you already had defensive end after you, before you lost Sam Williams, you weren't thinking about it, but to have another nose tackle when you literally could go cheaper and younger by drafting someone, but y'all neglected like you do safety, and then you end up having to trade or do something later, makes no sense business-wise. It's a tension of need, a position of need to stop the run, and y'all just care less about it. But it's whatever. The Joneses see it as a problem. They acknowledged it as a problem, but then they still do nothing to help themselves until you have to spend draft capital or money to help. And then if that person either doesn't pan out or gets hurt, we're right back where we started. So it is what it is. Anyway, if I hadn't mentioned it in my last video, Nahshon Wright got traded to the Vikings for Andrew Booth. So another corner for corner swap like we did with Kelvin Joseph last year, sending him to Miami. Haven't heard anything from him since he went there, but I don't really keep up on former players like that. But funny how we keep going corner for corner. Hopefully it is an upgrade, but it's a shame that our 2nd and 3rd round picks in the 2021 draft are now bust and gone from the team. It is what it is. That's how the Cowboys roll. To add Carl Lawson onto the roster, we had to injure Shaka Toney, who was just signed last week, as a hopefully alleviate the defensive line, but now he's gone with a growing injury. Let's see, what else has happened in the week? Albert Huggins, nose tackle, had a little tiff. Well, I wouldn't say tiff. Mike McCarthy didn't say tiff, but he had a run-in with a Rams coach, and he's apologized for it. From the video, it looked like he just kept pass rushing, and he kind of just knocked the guy over without saying anything to him, but I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know the full context, but that's what I saw in the video. But at least he has apologized for it. But he was sent home from practice that day due to the incident. Next up, we got Earl Bostic, who is now injured and has been flown back to Oxnard to have surgery. So we are starting to slowly drop like flies on the offensive line, especially offensive tackle and swing tackle, because now that's Bostic and Edoga both injured. Edoga with a broken toe, 4 to 6 weeks, and now with Bostic down, you're pretty much trusting everything on Guyton to start and Bass or Ball or I can't remember the other guy to back y'all up and hopefully keep a job. If not, y'all, we're getting their cut downs. it's about that time to put up or shut up, really. Next, as far as injury news goes, we had Brandon Cooks go down. Well, I wouldn't say go down. He had his knee evaluated. Apparently, he had some knee soreness. So they proactively took him out of practice and are checking him out. Apparently, he's going to be okay. It's just some soreness, and they're going to work through that. Thankfully, it's the preseason, so it doesn't really matter right now. Excuse me. But your presumptive number 2, who's been standing in as number 1, gets hurt. You kind of have the next man up thing, but you want to hurry along that CD contract and stop playing. And speaking of the contracts, there's word, like there always is, coming from anonymous sources, I'm sure, that the Cowboys are working on Dak's and CD's contract still. Dak said that they've had negotiations and good talks. Of course, y'all been talking for quite some time. Nothing's changed. But now we're hearing some word that maybe CD's offer was a little less than $33 million per year. So he'd probably be the second highest paid wide receiver right now. But we'll have to see if that's true and if CD signs it, or if, that is what the actual about will turn out to be. We'll see. Excuse me. But I guess the Cowboys are trying to get pen to paper and get these guys signed sooner rather than later. I mean, they've messed around this long. I don't know what the urgency is now, but at least they're trying to do something. And as far as Dak, he has practiced since he was taken out for ankle soreness last week. He has practiced this week. He's back to 100%. Well, he's full go in practices. I don't know if he's 100% or not. I'm not him. But at least he's back to practicing and not being held out or limited. But as we head into Las Vegas for our second preseason game, there's going to be some guys who need to step up on defense. There's going to be, hopefully, some better play calling from Mike McCarthy. Probably see what these running backs can do. If not, I'm content rolling in with Zeke, Freeman, and Davis. If not, get rid of Freeman and go with Dowdle. But we'll have to see what they're going to go with, because obviously with everything, they're going to keep Zeke. But we'll have to see. Yeah. It's still the Trey Lance project. So we'll have to see if he steps up in game number 2 now that he's had game action. I think if he can get his mechanics down and can get a little more touch on his accuracy, he'll be fine. We'll have to see if anything's changed for him. If he's finally had the light bulb come on and say, hey, I can do this, and take command of an offense. But we'll have to see. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about for this week. I hope you have a fun and enjoyable weekend, in case I don't see you. And until the next time, this is VA Dallas Cowboy fan, out.